You know, I know that there are a lot of people that don't like the former president, but I didn't realize that it was to that level.
You know, I may not agree with his views, but I still don't want anybody to be shot and assassinated.
Mississippians now speaking on the chaos in Pennsylvania, the news of the assassination attempt of former President Donald Trump leaving many in disbelief and confusion.
Unfortunately, somebody's life was taken yesterday. It was a senseless act of violence, and now there's somebody who, you know, they didn't go home to their family.
My first reaction was staged. But then when I saw some people got hurt, you know, I started to be a little more open-minded.
Most people are on the same page about the devastation of someone losing their life in the crossfire. A Mississippi official now questions the strength of national security to properly protect and serve.
How could you let somebody climb up on top of a building with a rifle and not be stopped before he got to the top is just something that's going to have to be answered as we go forward.
Greg Harper, a former Republican congressman, says he believes this attempted assassination is a form of extremism fueled by the Democratic Party calling Trump a dictator.
Stop the name calling, because that's so much of what has fueled this is when you vilify people, then you have people that maybe are just a little bit unhinged that want to operate and act off of that.
Democratic Representative Fabian Nelson says that's not the case.
The Democratic Party has not labeled Donald Trump as anything. You know, Donald Trump defines himself with the rhetoric that he constantly delivers.
Yet Harper and Nelson are calling for peace, saying that regardless of opposing views, violence should never be the answer. And voters say this incident does not change their plans in the polls.
I don't understand how that would affect anything, because it doesn't change a person's platform or their ideas because of an incident.
No, it won't change my vote. I had already made my decision.
Brooklyn Joyner, 16 WAPT News.